Hi, and welcome back to Blue's Garden. This is a quick tour of my seed starting station. Uh, beginning of the third week in February, and just a quick look at a few things that we've started: seeds, onion, some peppers. I did start sweet potato as well. I've got my regular potato chitting out. And I got some Roma tomato, which I always start a couple weeks earlier than the rest. Gives me my first blush of tomatoes earlier. We'll also start my regular Roma tomato, San Marzano, my plum tomatoes. I'll start them actually coming up next weekend. So here's a quick look at the seed starting station, third week in February. First up, I start my seeds all the same way. It is a 1/4-inch classifier, and I sort through and sift through all of my seed starting mix. There is a lot of big chunky things in there, and I prefer my seed starter to be very light and fluffy. I planted 5 kinds of bulbing onions and 2 kinds of bunching onions and some shallots. It's sort of first for me, the shallots. I label everything. Again, they all look the same when they're first growing, and as you'll see in a sec. I am growing herbs indoors, parsley, oregano. I am growing 3 different kinds of lettuce. I have planted 5 kinds of peppers, one medium hot, 3 bell type, and 1 called habanada, which is the same flavor as habanero without the heat. Usually I start with 2 seeds per cell. And again, I label everything. So the peppers, lemon aiji, golden bell, sweet banana, habanada, big red. I've got the 5 different kinds of bulbing onion, a little gem, and a red leaf lettuce growing. I just started another batch of Paris cos. Here's the oregano and parsley growing. I use fresh herbs cooking all the time. After about a week, I actually got my first pepper came up. That tiny little green spot. Onions, right around 10 days to 12 days is when you start seeing the onions popping up. Roma tomato, just at the 2-week mark, 10 days, 2 weeks, I start seeing my Roma tomatoes coming up. Now, they don't all germinate 2 per cell. Again, you can start to see the peppers coming. Usually they are 20 days, so that's actually not bad at 2 weeks to start to see a few popping. Nice to see. And then the onions, they just look like a tiny little stick of grass, a little blade of grass. So it's a good thing you label them because they all look alike. I have here a Cooper's hawk who is resting on top of a rabbit. As you guys know, if you follow me, I have a ton of rabbits around the yard. He's just resting, and in a little bit he's going to give the rabbit a tour of the neighborhood. Went outside and did a quick walk through the garden. It's a little snowy to be planting yet. Those steps, those boards are where I keep my herbs growing. I grow in grow bags. That wooden raised bed is the garlic, soon to be. It's under there. I planted it in November. In here is where I keep my tomatoes and peppers and some more cucumbers and whatnot. And then I have a couple of big bins of compost, and pots are waiting. So this is somewhere in 3 weeks, to 2 weeks or so. By the way, I bottom water always. I will water, let it soak, and then after about 15 minutes or so, take all the cells out and dump the water. Let it soak for about 10, 15 minutes. Dump out excess water. You don't want this much water in there, but once I pull all the cells out, and the water will drain right back into the trays. This is at 2+ weeks. The onion. Look at them all. Those little black dots on the top are actually the seed head, the little seed itself. These are the sweet potatoes on day 3. There's a video about them. These are my regular potatoes, and they are chitting out, growing in. I've got 4 different kinds of potatoes chitting. Here we go with the onions. This is closer to 3 weeks. Well, 17 days, I guess. Fan is on. You can see the fan is shaking the leaves up. I have a fan on from about the 2nd week, and that just helps to strengthen up the little seedlings. And I will rotate the orientation of the cells and the seed trays so that the fan is not always blowing from the same direction. Spin it around, and that really strengthens up your seedlings. You can see that the seed labels are facing the wrong way, and that's because I do spin the trays around often. Thanks for joining me on the tour. I do the videos for you guys, but also as much I do the videos for myself. I actually go back and look every year at last year's video around this time. It's a good way of having sort of a video diary of what I did and what worked and didn't. I make note of. One of the things that I like about the video is it helps me to remember, oh yeah, don't forget to, at 2 weeks, turn the fan on, and don't forget to rotate all your cells so that the fan is facing a different direction, facing the seedlings from a different direction. Anyway, that's the tour. So far, we've got onions, peppers, and just Roma tomatoes planted, as well as the herbs and lettuce, which I grow all year round. This coming weekend, end of the 3rd, beginning of the 4th week of February, is when I will put in the rest of my plum tomatoes. They get going a little early because I like a nice big harvest of them. I'm out of actually the frozen tomato sauce, spaghetti sauce. I think maybe I have 1 or 2 Ziploc bags left, gallon zips of the frozen sauce. So I like another batch to come up soon. So looking forward, plum tomatoes next, cherry tomatoes after that, and then the beefsteaks or the larger slicing tomatoes will come the week after that, towards the middle of March. End of March is squash, zucchini, the bigger veggies. Beginning of April is cucumbers or so, and that gets them 6 weeks before they even begin to think about going outside. Anyway, thanks for joining me on the tour. Please like, share, and subscribe if the video helps you grow. It helps me grow as a channel, and that also helps you grow if I can pass along any info. So thanks for joining me. Please like and subscribe and share if this video helps you.